And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Yes, John, they tried hard to lose that one. They gave San Antonio every opportunity to go ahead and win that one, but didn't quite work out for them. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here for the Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On the latest Pop Culture Cosmos, we're covering with Xbox debacle. The fact that Xbox at one time had the video game industry in the palm of their hands. What happened? What went wrong? And can it be fixed? We talk about all that in a scintillating conversation with me and TJ Johnson right there for you on the Pop Culture Cosmos, wherever you get your podcasts. John Costa's here. Clutch Talking Lakers Corner. Please go ahead and make sure you go ahead and check out what he's doing today. His nice, fancy, new design, fancy post that he puts up there. Plus, I heard a rumor he might have a special guest coming here later.
A very special guest. Hey, like, you know what? Everyone here, you guys look out. Go on Lakers Corner page, subscribe, because I guarantee at the end of this week, I'm going to have such a special guest on my weekly recap that you guys are going to be like, how'd you land this guest? All I got to say.
Who knows?
All I got to say.
But we'll find out who that could be coming up later this week. If you are subscribed to Lakers Corner, indeed. Also, well, of course, got to go ahead and give some love. Whenever the Lakers win or the Lakers lose, if the Lakers lose, you just need to try and just rest your head and just, calm yourself on a wonderfully made pillow with Kobe and Gigi. And in the case of John, his lovely Lakers pillow, coincidentally, both were made by the awesome Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. If you need canvas art like Luka, who did a great job today, Kobe, like you see right above my head, or some of the designs that you see in the back of John right there. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make sure you are a part of what Drip Show Shop does by going ahead at Instagram and Twitter. Go ahead and follow them, get a message, tell them what you want, tell them what you need. Then go ahead and make sure you catch our friend at Drip Show Shop. If you want something in a design that's absolutely fantastic, pop culture related, sports related, doesn't matter. Let them know what you're thinking. Go ahead right there. Great gift for the holidays from your friend at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Plus, also, don't forget the good friends at the Lakerholics crew. They say they're going to come back at you on this Saturday. So I'll hold it to them right here on the channel, Lakerholics.com. Of course, Empire Jeff TV, big shout out to him covering the Lakers and Dodgers. Joe Soro hopefully will be by, Mr. Sim Blaze himself. Go ahead and make sure you check out his playback channel, the Joe Soro Experiment. And also as well, speaking of playback, had a great conversation today. Guys were great. I'm sure John's playback channel was rocking. Ours was rocking too. And no matter how hard the Lakers were trying to lose that game, we still had a great time. Magic Man, big shout out to him. Tough. No Joker was there. Sports Baby was yelling at everybody. Oh, such a great time. And Henry as well. Big shout out to Courtside Lakers Henry as well. So go ahead and make sure you're a part of what we're doing. The whole big group right there for you on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break or playback.tv/Lakers Corner as well. What a game today. The Lakers come in today 6-2, heading into a matchup against the Victor Webanyama-led San Antonio Spurs. Spurs coming off of an early season, good momentum run. Had a little bit of a fallout against Phoenix, but I'll tell you what, they're still a very tough team. They may be ahead of schedule. People need to look out for them. And despite losing Dylan Harper, they came to play today. They shot well from three in the first half. The Lakers still, even struggling out there on the field, they still found a way to stay in the game. Third quarter kind of got a little ugly. Lakers got outscored 37-28. A lot of that at the free throw line because the refs We're calling a lot of fouls. Let me go ahead. 84 free throws shot between the two teams. Just to let you know, that's a heck of a lot of free throws. But in the fourth quarter, the Lakers got Wemby into foul trouble. They got Stephon Castle into foul trouble, and they came back. Also got Harrison Barnes in foul trouble as well, and they came back strong. And we're ahead by 3 points with less than a minute to play. And despite mistakes by Marcus Smart, who really had a good game outside of the one toe over the line that when he did an inbounds ball that they called on, and Jake LaRavia fouling somebody with 0.04 left on the clock, still was able to go ahead and manage a victory today due to some missed free throws by San Antonio, and the Lakers pull out a 118-116 victory. As Magic Man closed out the show, he said on a playback, he did say it correctly, the Lakers are now second place in the Western Conference. People, including me, may be starting to believe. And here today to go ahead and discuss this are some great panelists indeed, starting off with the legend himself from the Lakers Corner. It is, of course, Mr. John Costa. John, great to have you here, my friend. A great victory for the Lakers. You can exhale now, my friend, because
Right.
tell you what, the Lakers did not make it easy. The refs didn't make it easy. The replay center didn't make it easy because I think they blew that last one on Keldon Johnson's knee. I think that went off his knee and didn't get off the other player, Laker. I think his arm, but okay. Nobody made it easy tonight for the Lakers, but they still got the job done, my friend.
Yes, man. Y'all talk about like one of those wins where you just make the job like a hell of times harder than it has to be. Like, man, that game, not only just like watching wise and like time wise, should have been over so much earlier than what it actually was, but just like simple mistakes wise. I mean, all right, the thing with Marcus Smart, that's simple basketball. But Jake LaRavia, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, like that's something you learn in like simple high school basketball, right? Like in when there's 0.4 seconds on the game clock, right? Not even on the shot clock, on the game clock, you just don't let the defender come beat you and go to the hoop. And then that happens. Like I was actually so upset on my playback, but nonetheless, we got the win. Happy to see it. One thing I do want to jump on real quick, just because I've been, I wasn't heavy on the Jake LaRavia train. He started to show me that confidence, right? And one thing I even said is like, look, I'm not expecting Jake to keep putting 20 points per game, but I expect him to keep playing with that kind of confidence. I didn't see that this game. I don't know if y'all did, but I definitely just didn't see that. Like, I know, the shot making wasn't there, and I can't ask the shot making to be there every single night, but what you can ask is for him to play with confidence every single night. And tonight, I didn't see that from him. That was one of my big talking points that I want to talk about here with y'all. See how y'all feel about that. But I mean, as far as like everything else, I mean, Luka Doncic 35-point double. Ayton, I think he showed up. He's starting to come more and more into his role. And I mean, as far as like the bench, we didn't get much contribution from the bench, but I feel like that's kind of that's kind of something we're a little bit used to hear from the Lakers. But a win is a win nonetheless, and good to see you boys. And I want to see what you boys here think about this game.
Want to go ahead and mention our super chats. Truly appreciate the super chats that are out there. First super chat was from Logan Mosaic. Hope I got that name right. Worst game of the year. Way too many free throws. You're right. It was really ugly to watch at times. 84 free throws between the two teams. No Joker said, let's go. 7-2. Obviously, again, putting the Lakers near the top of the Western Conference. Absolutely a great time when that happens. Again, playing with a lot of confidence, pulling out victories like this, maybe when they didn't get their best effort or didn't get their best execution. So definitely you take wins like that, but also here today to go ahead and talk about today's game. A good man indeed. It is a guy who covers the Lakers for Fansided and also the NBA. It is Antoine Willis Jr. Antoine, great to have you here. I don't know if you've met John Costa before. He runs his own Lakers channel. Absolutely fantastic to have you here again, my friend. I know you've been on before, or about a month or so ago. Great to have you back. Your thoughts on tonight's game, my friend?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty eventful. First off, nice to meet you, John. I've definitely seen some of your stuff, most definitely. It's good to finally get to talk to you on camera. Yeah, man, I think they just wanted to spice some things up tonight. I think it's I will say, like, I do think they left the game with one thing they can benefit from, which was having this kind of wacky ending, this kind of adversity, and still coming out with the W. Like, JJ's gonna absolutely butcher them. Just like how John said, like the things that Jake messed up on. With that foul in the fourth quarter. And really, like, even Jackson Hayes caught some criticism from Richard Jefferson near the end for like really not holding his ground in like the final seconds there, to make sure like they did secure the ball at the end and get the victory with the whole Julian Champagnie debacle and stuff. So it was pretty eventful for the fans, obviously, but I think more importantly, I do think that the Lakers left out really with the team bonding experience, really seeing where they can benefit from with their strengths and weaknesses. Because I do want to touch on with what John said with Jake LaRavia. I think what happened with Jake this game, he shot 3 and 9 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. I think, I don't want to say he came back down to earth, because I do think that when you're shooting like 9 for 11, I think that's just purely repetition. I think that's him in his pocket, in his role, like in those corner threes, just like purely like, spot up, catch and shoot. I think he can flourish at that all season. I think it's when you ask him to kind of create a little bit more, and knowing that Austin Reaves wasn't there for him this game the way that because I think Luka likes to create for himself a little bit more, rather than how Austin definitely prioritizes getting others involved more. I think having Austin, especially knowing how close they are, with Austin recruiting him and stuff like that, I definitely think having Austin on the court, it's definitely like a really big confidence booster for him. So I think just seeing Luka create and just really do his thing as he's supposed to, it was hard for Jake to really get in a rhythm the way he's really accustomed to. So I still believe in him for sure. I still think he's a pretty good player. I do think he will bounce back next game, especially when, like I said, when they do have Austin back. But I do like what you said about Ayton. No, the last few games, in my opinion, he's been playing great. I feel like he's been one of the biggest storylines on Lakers Twitter, the way he's been able to really dispel the narrative, really coming here, playing under JJ, just having a fire lit under him, exerting a lot of effort, really getting used to playing in this role with Luka, cutting to the basket more. He's looked great with the tip-ins, just his offensive instincts around the rim, being able to have a good nose for the ball. Even on defense, he had 2 blocks this game. He's looking pretty good on like in the interior in general, moving his feet pretty well. He was giving Victor some issues. Victor only had 19 points and 8 rebounds this game. So you could say that Ayton outplayed Victor this game in a way. You could definitely say that, even though Victor, of course, did foul out eventually. But yeah, man, I thought Ayton looked good. Marcus Smart, of course, say what you will. The thing at the end, I think he's a veteran. I don't think he'll make that mistake ever again. You can see how disappointed he was in himself, just putting the Lakers in that position. And he knew how bad of a play it was. He had the right thing in mind, because they were indeed, that cherry pick was smart. They were indeed already leaking with nobody down there. It could have been an easy layup to put the nail in the coffin, but he was just so ahead of himself. He just, just stepped back and he chucked the shit, So to see it happen like that, again, like I said, it was cool to see them try to buckle down and try to control the atmosphere. The fans are going crazy. The fans are having a good time, but they know they can't, fumble this ending. They know they have to. That's a moment where you have to secure that victory, especially against a Spurs team who I definitely think they've turned a corner. They were 5-1 heading into this game. They had their best start ever as a franchise, a franchise like the Spurs. So, and this is a young Spurs team. So the fact they're already turning the corner like this already, just based around Victor, his presence on offense and defense. Because I thought Mike Green had a really good statistic when he mentioned it in the first quarter. He said they literally have like the number 1 rated defense when Victor's on the floor, and when he's off, they literally have like the worst. So it's good to see that they're already building such a cohesive unit around Victor Wembanyama, and we're seeing that playing out in front of our very eyes with games like this. They had the lead for the majority of this game. The Lakers did have to claw back and take it. So I thought overall the game was a good learning experience. They faced some superstar talent across the way with Victor Wembanyama and his ensemble of Kendall Johnson and Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle, who I'm still pretty high on himself. He had 16 points and 8 assists this game. He shot 3 of 11. We all know his efficiency isn't the best, but just his grit, his defense at 6'7", being able to guard multiple positions. I thought the Lakers handled it fairly well to come out here with the W. So I think at least for right now, the most they can do is just get healthy. You're 7-2 on a 5-game winning streak, so you got a lot to be happy about. And like I said, like they got out with the W, and they can benefit from the adversity they experienced as well. So I would love to see how you have to, how you feel about this, Gerald, most definitely, especially with how long you've watched the Lakers. I doubt Shaq and Kobe were fumbling games like this at the end of the fourth quarter and stuff. So what did you take on that fourth quarter, and how did you feel about their experience as a whole?
Well, the rhythm of the entire second half was problematic because of the way the refs were calling fouls. I think that's something that they have to let a little bit more go. I think there was some really suspect calls by both for both sides, both teams. Anytime you're shooting 84 free throws combined, it's kind of tough. I do want to mention though, for Intel Wild on the super chat, smart is definitely what we need. A dog out there every night. Truly appreciate the super chats. But yeah, absolutely. In an ugly game like this, the Lakers still held firm, especially after not having a great third quarter. They came back. They were able to focus on trying to find a game plan to slow down Wembanyama. They obviously saw what happened in Phoenix when he only scored nine points. They obviously saw the tape from that, modeled a lot of what they did as far as the double teaming, the right place to play him, how they played against him, as far as having a smaller forward play against him instead of a center out there on the perimeter. They followed a lot of what Phoenix's game plan was, and for the most part, it paid itself off. Again, a lot of fouls. I think a lot of it was ticky-tack. But again, the Lakers, down the stretch, outside of those mistakes within the last 30 seconds, got a lot of clutch plays done. Give credit to Marcus Smart before the mistake was made. He came up with a lot of clutch plays. Luka, not having his best shooting day, got 35.
27.
Laravia hustling out there. No, he didn't. He wasn't good offensively, but he did make the mistake at the end, but he still gave us a lot of energy out there, which is what we needed. And of course, Rui and Ayton really get shout outs because both showed up again today, and that's 2 games in a row for both of them. So absolutely excellent to see.
I did want to back up what you said about Rui. I just want to give him his flowers. I think he's been in the lab so much this summer. The way off the dribble, he's pulling up in the mid-range. He's stopping, hitting the pivot, like pulling up. And he's just you can just tell the way he's really digging into his bag. And it's really cool to see his confidence rise the way that it has, and I think that with the absence of LeBron James, they've been forced to dig within their depth in their rotation and really see what these players can do, trying to create their own shots, especially knowing how good of a playmaker that LeBron is. So it's really interesting to me to see how Rui's potential, in my opinion, has definitely increased with his ability to create his jump shots off the dribble. He's taking more threes now than ever, and it's really just his shooting stroke has been really smooth lately. So I just want to give him his credit. I think people had him in trade rumors last season, and they didn't really know what to make of him for the future on the Lakers. But I think at 27 years old, I think his future is definitely like cemented in this core. I don't think it's going to cost a lot of money. They like Rui. Rob Pelinka said it during their media day before the season started. They're still really high on him, and that was before he was showing what they're showing now. He contributes to winning basketball, and I think the fans really like Rui. Of course, having cachet. He's from Japan, and on top of that, he's a great player. So I do think just being in the Lakers market, he really checks all the boxes. Being a Los Angeles Angeles Lakers, being good on the court and off the court. So I'm really excited for his future in LA. I just really wanted to say that.
No worries. Once again, the Lakers do win. They eke out a win 118-116. Also here today, good friend indeed. It is the guy from I Got Next Sports Media. Legend is back in town. Legend, great to have you here. Intel Wild again on the super chat says we would be 8-1 if the team was all there. Just think of what the team would look like with LeBron James in the mix, and Austin Reaves was out tonight as well with the groin injury. They're hoping to get him back for Saturday. Your thoughts on today's game, seeing it from a guy who sees the NBA real clearly, my friend?
Got to give the Lakers a lot of credit. They hung in there. They didn't give up. They could have went to the fourth quarter and packed it up and said, you know what, boys? Hey, we lost. Call it a day, man. We got next game. But they didn't. They stood up. They took the blows, kept going, and that's what you got to do. That was a heart of a champion moment, right? That's the heart of a champion. And I gotta give the Lakers a lot of credit. They're playing basketball right now. Ayton looked pretty good. It might be the best Ayton has looked, and God knows when. Honestly, can't remember the last time he looked this good. So I gotta give him a lot of credit that he's playing like a man who know that his NBA career is on the line right now. So I give him a lot of credit for stepping up. Jake Raven, a lot of them other boys, the young boys, stepping up as well. I got to give a shout out to Wemby as well. Wemby played pretty good tonight, even though they won his best game, but he still did his part. And you can tell the difference on defense when he in the game, when he's not. You can tell a big difference. Because get Lakers a lot of credit. I don't blame a lot of them boys for running out that paint when Wemby down there, because that's pretty much a block. I can't blame him for running. So they did good taking advantage when he wasn't there, and give JJ Redick a lot of credit too. A lot of times when he called for a challenge, it was a good call. So you got to give him a lot of credit as well. And this Lakers team continued to surprise me. Honestly, I didn't see this coming. I really didn't. I'll be honest with the whole crowd. I wrote these boys off from being like on this level. I knew they'd be good, but not like this.
So
I'll just say this one just real quick, John. I'm gonna bring it to you next. Jovan Buha in a post that he made talked about how everybody else needs to get in line and readjust their thinking about what the Lakers can be and whatnot. I know we have some fans here, Robert Wheeler, some others that already came in, but they come in every year thinking the Lakers are going to win a title, no matter what team that we put out there. And for those individuals, God bless you. Okay, so far you're looking good.
Yeah.
But Jovan, I've heard you in a lot of conversations this summer. I know where you thought the Lakers were going to be. So if you're going to ask everybody else to readjust their thinking on the Lakers, you have to readjust your thinking as well and say you are part of this, because you are said pretty much what we're in line with what I, John, Legend, and everybody else were saying as far as the guys that watch for this channel, or also NBA experts, were thinking what the Lakers might fall into as far as the conference standings. Now, it is 10% of the season in, but it is looking good right now. John, a lot of that is because of the picks that, I'll say it again, like I said the other night, Rob Pelinka brought in here. The low-risk, high-reward players with a lot to prove. Yes, all three of those players, Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia to an extent as well, even though he's on a 2-year, it's still something where he's still playing for the rest of his career. And also, of course, more importantly, Deandre Ayton. He is also playing for his very survival as an NBA starting center in the league. How much of this is JG? How much is this being on the Lakers? And how much do you think is the motivation for those two guys for what's to come, or what they could get this offseason?
Yeah. So real quick, just to JY's point, JY had mentioned real quick, asking about
By the way, no Joker thinks JJ for sixth man of the year. I think he meant coach of the year, but
probably coach of the year.
If he meant sixth man of the year,
He probably meant coach of the year.
Yeah, probably coach of the year.
But no, JY, appreciate your comment, and I just want to answer this real quick, and then we'll get to the Lakers. But he mentioned about how OKC just lost to the Blazers. Man, I don't know if y'all was on the other night we played the Blazers. I gave them their flowers. They got an amazing backcourt defenders, y'all, and I think that they're going to be a sleeper this year. I'm not saying that they're going to compete in the playoffs, but I do think that they're going to be a sleeper, just great defensive teams. Defensive teams are tough out in this league. But as far as the Lakers, Gerald, I love how you brought up what Johan Buha was.
Jovan Buha, yes.
Yeah, I love what you brought. I love what you brought up what he was talking about, because when I read that, because I also seen that him saying like, oh, a lot of people need to readjust. Honestly, I'm gonna be super.
Starts with you, man. It starts with you.
Yeah, it starts with him. I heard him say that over the summer.
I'm gonna be 100 with you. I still think that they're gonna end up exactly where I said they were gonna end up. My prediction is that at best they end up in the 4th seed, and at worst they end up in that 5th or 6th seed. And I think that's absolute worst, right? And I'll be honest with you, I still haven't changed that. To be real, I still haven't changed that. And I think that a lot of what's going to determine this, to be honest with you, is not even necessarily the Lakers. I mean, yeah, for of course health, but I mean a lot of what's going to determine this is how some of these other teams actually play out. Like
exactly,
that's actually going to determine where we end up finishing. But yeah, and that's what I wanted to flip, like kind of on y'all and ask, like, has anything changed for y'all? Because like when I read that, I was like, nothing's really changed for me. Like I still think we're still going to be a good team, and I knew coming into the season we were going to be a good team. Title contending team and a good team is two different things. I never thought we were going to be a title contending team. I knew we were going to be a good team, because when you have players like Luka and LeBron on your team, and even with Ayton, like I seen what Chris Paul did with Ayton, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I mean, no one knew, but I had a very good hunch that Luka was gonna be able to turn Ayton's game around. I mean, if Chris Paul can do it, because he's a pick and roll maestro, imagine how much more Luka can do it, just because of the simple gravity he demands when he has the ball coming off the pick and roll. But essentially, I wanted to ask y'all that, like, has your guys' opinion changed on the Lakers? Like, were y'all a little bit more low during the preseason, and then now based on where you're at now, or has it remained the same?
Can I answer this one first?
Yeah, go for it, my friend.
John, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm the same as you. My opinion haven't really changed either. I like what they're doing so far, but I've been here and I've done it. I don't seen all this movie before. I seen this movie before. Same script, everything. Even with the Warriors, I'm like, the Warriors got me with it last year too. That hot start, and what happened in January, you fell to pieces. I seen this movie before. Nah, I'm not falling for that no more. I'm at the point, even before last year, even with the championship Warriors, the biggest thing I have learned watching the NBA, I wait until March and April to really know what this team's gonna do. It's too early. I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna say what I kind of feel, just like them too, just like John. I think the team is good. It's too soon though, man. It's too soon right now. I gotta see a little bit more before I sit there and say it. They look good though. They can definitely flip my mind on. But right now, I'm gonna still wait a little longer. I'm gonna still wait. Give me another 2 months of what they look like.
Again, it just goes back to what you're saying, because you guys at Golden State, your team, Golden State, got off to a great start. And they were second place in the Western Conference, like in midway through November, heading into December. You know, they had just, again, 10% of the season is done. I get that. I understand that. For me, I think it's a little bit better than what I thought, because again, Marcus Smart is a little bit better than what I thought he would be. I wasn't sure that Marcus Smart that would be entering at this age 31 season, how broken down he was after playing only 20 some odd games in the past 2 seasons. 50 some odd games the past 2 seasons, because he just wasn't a part of it and was injured or just wasn't in their plans. So I didn't know what kind of Marcus Smart we were getting. And so far, as long as he's out there on the court, he's been really a great addition to this team. He leads. There's no accident that he leads the team in plus minus on this team. And I'm really, really happy to see him, because, you know, it resurrects his career. This is the places where he's resurrecting his career, and I'm glad to see it for him. For Deandre Ayton, too. If he can give us consistent back-to-back 20-10 games like he's been doing, that's what you ask for him. That's what you ask for him, a starting center. And that's what hopefully he will get paid, because he will have a great season with the Lakers. So these additions make this team deeper. And I told you guys all year long how worried I was about the depth of this team. But these guys, the Jake LaRavias of the world, who can, on certain days, give you 20-plus points. Even a Nick Smith Jr., he was invisible today, but he gave us 25 from nowhere the other day. Hopefully he can replicate that 3, 4, 5 more times during the season. You hope he can. And then with Jake LaRavia, he is going to give you maybe a 20-point game once every 7 to 10 days. And if he does that, that's great. That's bench production you did not have this time last year, because the Lakers were one of the worst benches in the league last year. And if they can continue to do that when LeBron, when Austin come back, that would be outstanding. If Gabe or Kleber give you anything outside of a pulse, that would be great too. But even their salaries will go good in a trade, so you can bring someone else around the trade deadline. Antoine, I'll throw that question back to you. But yeah, that was a really good question, John. I appreciate you throwing that out there.
No, for sure. And yeah, even just to go back to what he said about the expectations for the team. Like, I felt like when you have a player like Luka Doncic, who had already proven himself at he came at 25, so he already had proven himself in the 7 years he had been in the league. He's 5-time All-NBA first-team player, 5-time All-Star already. Took a team to the finals. Of course, they lost 4-1, but it was to the Celtics. I feel like he had already proven himself, and that was him not even nowhere near reaching his peak yet. So when you have a player like that, I feel like when you have everything depends on that individual solely. I really feel like if he and it's really no if, when he did show up to training camp 31 pounds lighter than the year before, I think that really set the tone for what was about to happen this year. I think he really came out and wanted to prove at all costs that he was still very much an untouchable player. I think being traded definitely hurt his feelings for sure. We know he definitely has an ego, as he should, as he must, to perform at this level. And I think it was very telling that when he broke his iPhone, that he had it in the Malika Andrews interview. He still had it. He kept it, which lets you know what kind of person he is, even being a millionaire. He's still just regular guy, So when he broke the phone, that lets you know how much that was an impulsive decision. That was pure rage. That really lets you know that ripped his heart out of his chest. You saw when he played the Mavericks, he was crying. It took 3 minutes before the tears started flowing during the introduction. So I think he came out and he's proven to all of Los Angeles that he was really wanted to continue on the standard that is set in LA for being a Laker and being the franchise player of a team of this caliber. So I think the expectations were always high, especially after seeing him lose weight the way that he did. He was an MVP. He was an MVP candidate for 4 of the 7 years he's been in the league. All those years, he either lost to Giannis or Jokic. So and that's him being in his early 20s. So I think we still haven't seen the prime Luka Doncic yet. So the fact he's already playing this good, like we said, he did not shoot that good today. He shot 9 of 27 from the field, 4 of 11 from 3. I think that's just with a lot of usage. I think when he has LeBron back and Austin Reaves, it's going to be a lot of quality over quantity with his jump shots. We've seen all of them eat together on the same night multiple times, and when they're gone, both individually, they'll all put up 40, as we've seen with Austin Reaves and stuff like that. So I do think that the expectation was always high. It's just people, I think they were really let down after losing in the first round of the playoffs last year to the Timberwolves, and it forever left a bad taste in the mouth of the fan base. And from then on there, they were really skeptical of this current Lakers core. Of course, that was a completely different team than the team we do have now with DeAndre Ayton and Marcus Smart. But I still think that they were still clouded by just having Luka and LeBron as the main guys and seeing what the end result was. So now that they do have this roster with this depth behind them, I think it's increased their potential exponentially. I think it still hasn't hit people that we do have Luka Doncic and LeBron James on the same team playing together. And of course, we have not seen this full roster yet because LeBron is still hurt. on top of, the role players playing good with him being gone and stuff like that. We haven't seen how that's meshed. We haven't seen how a player averaging 24 points with 7 rebounds and 8 assists is going to pair with Jake LaRavia and Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton. We haven't seen lineups where Luka and Austin are off the floor and LeBron's the main playmaker with this. We haven't seen that yet. So I think we'll truly know the full potential of this roster when LeBron James does return. You can't know what a roster is like with a player like of his caliber not being healthy. So right now they're 7-2. I think they're pretty good even when he's not here. So that lets you know what he's going to be what they will be when he does return. I can say that, and they might fall off a cliff and stuff like that, but I just highly doubt it. LeBron's still, a decent defender. He's not what he used to be, obviously, but offensively, I think he's still an amazing offensive player. He's only going to add more to this team with the new spot-up shooters like Jake LaRavia that they do have. So yeah, man, I'm pretty excited. I do agree with what Gerald said. I think a lot of it depends on like players like Gabe Vincent, just with the money he's making alone. In that preseason game, he was like rapid fire. He shot like 3 or 3 from the 3 ball. And
in every preseason game, he was balling.
Seriously, like 16 points in the first half. So, and they sat him after that. That's all JJ needed to see, So, yeah, man, I think this team has a lot to look forward to. It's the first half of the season, the first quarter, you could say. Just looking at the standings, it's what we expected. The Lakers are the 2 seed now. So I guess the Spurs are 3. The Nuggets are still 4. The Rockets are still here. It's still early, like Legend said. Literally, like it's super early. And like I said, fans, they've been itching for Lakers basketball. And after seeing all these moves get made, they really wanted to see what this roster looks like. They're getting it, but they're still not satisfied because they want LeBron back, I feel. And they want to see how that looks. They want to see, is he going to improve this roster or is he not, so they can finally move on from it. They're paying $53 million this year and he hasn't even touched the floor yet. So I think he knows he needs to come back. This is the first time in his life he's ever been on a contract year, if I'm not mistaken. So a player of his caliber not having another year on a team can only come from not being available. It doesn't matter who you are. Availability is the best ability. So LeBron has to be healthy, and like we know that. So it all just depends on when he comes back. They're 7-2 without him, so we'll see what happens. I feel like it literally just all depends on when LeBron comes back. That's when we'll know the full potential of this team. If they go on like a 10-game win streak as soon as he touches the floor, I think you have your answer on what this Lakers team can achieve. And I don't want to hear anything about the playoffs. These players, LeBron's been to the finals 10 times. He has 4 championships. Luka went to the finals by himself. With a better roster, they can definitely play better in the playoffs. Austin Reaves didn't play that good. In that Minnesota series, I think that's the biggest X factor for the Lakers in the playoffs to me, is how Austin Reaves will perform in the playoffs and stuff like that, being that third option. So, yeah, man. But like my final answer, though, I do think we won't know the full potential until LeBron comes back, whether he makes the Lakers far better or far worse. And if I had to give my opinion, I think he's only going to make him better. Being LeBron James and being the smart player that he is. So, yeah, I think we don't know the full potential yet.
So I think anyone that actually thinks LeBron is going to make this team worse actually is not. He is not.
But I think the conversation is about defensively.
Defensively. Okay, no, absolutely. I thought you meant overall.
He's 4 years old. God, you guys can play at the YMCA. You can play at the YMCA like on a Saturday, and you certainly play. You take your spots. The older guys, we pick our spots. He is 40. Going to be 41 years old next month.
In December,
I can't blame him.
It's suspected at this point.
Yeah, but because he saves a lot for the offensive end, I don't blame him. This is something we've gone through now for the past 2-3 seasons. He takes plays off on the defensive end. He still gets to the points when he's pissed off or somebody talks smack to him. He gets all emotional. He goes right there in the face and he turns back the clock to old young LeBron again. Yes, I get that. But, there is a point when you're 40 to 41 years old, you just can't give it on both sides of the court every single possession. And he doesn't. He tries to be smart about that. when he's out down the court. I can't blame him for that because that's what happens when you're that age. So that's what they're talking about, John, is the defensive side of it. No, I don't think anybody is. Well, maybe his shot will struggle a little bit to start the season. When he finally comes back, which was reported by Shams Charania, intimated probably just shortly after the Lakers come back from their 5-game road trip. So we'll see what happens, John. But that was basically the gist of it on the chat.
Do you got? Oh no!
No. Go ahead, please.
I was just gonna say this, just because we're on this 5-game winning streak. Would love to see like how far y'all think we can extend this. I know we have the Hawks next on Saturday, and then we got Charlotte, and then we got OKC. Like how far y'all think we can extend this win streak?
Well, okay, let's talk about the 5. How well will we do in this 5 games?
All right, sure. In the next 5 games. The next 5 games is Hawks, Hornets, OKC, Pelicans, and Milwaukee. The next 5.
So I think the Pelicans for sure, like that's a surefire win.
That's an easy dub.
The Hornets.
Watch out, they're 2 in a row. They won 2 in a row. Watch out.
No, I agree. They're right. They did win by 2 today. He is right. Like momentum is momentum, regardless of however. And these are the best basketball players on the planet. So, I still, they could beat New Orleans. I would favor the Lakers. I'll say that. The Hornets, I favor the Lakers. The Bucks, I favor the Lakers. The Thunder. I know like that's on a Wednesday night. It's not a back-to-back. Is that at home or is that? And yeah, no, that's in Oklahoma, so that's travel. Yes. Unfortunately, that's gonna be hard. Traveling and the games they're gonna be.
And they're gonna sit down Luka in either New Orleans or Milwaukee. Guess which one I would sit them out on? Because that's back-to-back.
And oh shit, probably Charlotte maybe.
Well, no, New Orleans and Milwaukee. They're back to back.
I'm sorry.
I was thinking about Milwaukee.
Pelicans.
Yeah. Luka, go on a plane to Milwaukee. Just wait there while the guys are hanging out in New Orleans. So there you go.
And just like enjoying like some clubs and playing a pickup game with the Pelicans. Just have some fun out there. Seriously. In the Hawks, that's the last game that John was talking about. I mean. So I kind of don't want to give my opinion. You feel me? Because I'm never biased. I'm a true.
I'll go 3-2. I'll just go 3-2.
I'm gonna go on and say we're gonna probably catch the AL Saturday.
Yeah, man. I think the Hawks could take that, man. So
Porzingis is there. Yes. If Porzingis is not there. No, because Trae Young is out. So
and Trae Young is out.
Yep.
The Hawks have won 2 in a row. Nah, they won 2, lost 1, and they won their last game. So they beat Orlando, the Magic. The Magic are 3-5. So make about that what you will. Jamal Mosley doesn't have the most fans down in Florida right now, but I think with the momentum of the Hawks, with the death of Jalen Johnson, he's been playing great. He's been playing phenomenal. He had like 22 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists one game. And like the last game, he had he had 17 points with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. And before that, it was like 23 points and 7 boards and 5. So he continues to get around 20 points with, he's a great rebounder, and he's definitely taking the playmaking reins as well with Trae Young out. Right now, he's averaging 21 points with 9 rebounds and 5 assists a game, shooting 58% from the field, Jalen Johnson. So starting off with him because he's, the second star player, of course, and then with Trae out, he is their star player, at least on Saturday night. Well, for the time being, for sure, with Trae out. Jalen's played great. I think Kristaps played solid. For sure. I think he's fulfilled that role with the Hawks, just getting comfortable on the interior. He's having to pick up more slack than usual than he had to on like the Celtics and teams of that nature. So he's getting used to that. But I love Luke Kennard. He's played phenomenal with the Hawks, in my opinion. He's been playing great. Nickeil Alexander-Walker has played fantastic, in my opinion. He's been starting at the point guard, like how he did at Virginia Tech his sophomore year. And just really his ability to adapt in the game. And like his veteranship has been great for the Hawks. And you can really see it already. And last but not least, Dyson Daniels, of course, he signed that extension. He is there this Saturday. We're going to see how he will impact the Lakers. He's coming alive after struggling the first about 2 to 3 games of the season. I just think he was getting his legs under him after signing that extension. And 18.6 rebounds with 6 assists last game versus Orlando. And he's still playing good on the defensive end, still getting those steals as the Great Barrier Thief. So it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a test of wills in Atlanta. With no Trae Young, it does hurt the playmaking, but it does close up some of their defensive issues when you start off with a lineup of Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dyson Daniels, Zachary Sachet, Jalen Johnson, and Kristaps Porzingis. It's a super long lineup with a lot of shooting in it. And they have depth, with Luke Kennard coming off the bench. Vic Krejci is good. I like him. He shoots like 40% from 3 as a Hawks piece. And of course, Onyeka Okongwu. Can't leave Onyeka out. He's amazing. The former USC product, of course, as you all know, I'm pretty sure.
I actually played against him in high school.
That's great. Wow. Chino Hills.
Yeah. I played in the state championship game.
Or get dunked on him.
We got smacked on him. And that you can actually look up that game on YouTube. It's a CIF 2016 state championship game, Chino Hills. We played against the Ball brothers, and he was there. And honestly, what's funny is everyone that played in that game, we all knew, like, damn, like, he slept on. Like, nobody really talks about him, and he ends up going to the league, and now it's about to be a starter.
6 in the draft, like number 6 in the draft. That was a top 10 draft pick y'all were playing.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. He was a star. But no, 100%.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I think, it's going to be a fun series, a fun sequence of games for the Lakers. I do agree with what Gerald said, at least 3-2, regardless of whoever they play, at least 3-2, whether they underestimate one of the teams or, JJ, I mean, we'll see, but I think at least 3-2, just looking over the horizon just a little bit for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Absolutely.
John, are you going to go ahead and plug your awesome channel before you head on out? If you want, come back in. No worries if you can't, my friend.
Yes,
but
please.
I'd love to have you back on.
I'd love to come back on. If you guys are still on, after I do my 3-minute recap, I'll hop back on. I'm just gonna do my 3-minute recap real quick for the Lakers family out there. But I just wanted to give a quick plug. If any of y'all want to check out my page, please do check out Lakers Corner on YouTube. On Instagram, it's Lakers_corner. I just hit 5K followers on Instagram today, so run that up. TikTok is
congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you, brother. And TikTok, we still trying to get 8K on TikTok. So that's Lakers Corner 24. But besides that, appreciate everybody letting me be here. I'm gonna connect with everybody here offline. I want to get everyone on my show here on my weekly
LinkedIn
show.
man. LinkedIn.
Yes.
LinkedIn.
Yes.
I still gotta get mentioned on my LinkedIn.
I'm gonna connect with you guys, but appreciate y'all being here, and I will see y'all boys a little bit later if you guys are still on. Let's do this 3-minute recap. But check out Lakers Corner if you want to see the 3-minute recap. Appreciate y'all.
Got it. That's John Costa, Clutch Talk on Lakers Corner.
Thanks.
He is on my LinkedIn, Antoine. Just want to let you know. So if you want to look for a handsome young man that says Zoom right next to him. There you go.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we already follow each other on Twitter and stuff like X now. So
yeah, exactly. I still call it Twitter. And Block is still hating, but Block, go ahead, look at the last one. The last one already got like 1,000 views. But go ahead, Block, you can keep hating. Anyway, appreciate y'all being here, and I'm out of here. And Block, you don't want this work in real life.
It's Black. He's been trying to tell you for a year now. But Black.
He doesn't deserve. Lions don't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep.
Okay,
He don't deserve. He don't deserve me calling him his name. Anyway, y'all. All right, we'll do a 3-minute recap. I'll see y'all boys.
God bless you, brother.
Best. I did say AR would be back up for Saturday's game, but once again, it is the Lakers winning 118-116. Black, I know for a while he was always okay. Sometimes when you will read, there's this one profile, like I've had this one profile, David, just you will say it wrong every single time. You know you're saying it wrong, but yet it's still Trayvon. I was saying his name like forever the wrong way. Trust me. Yes, we try to get the names right and we blow it quite a bit. Stefan, how you doing, my friend? RD23 talking about Luka trash talking the rest. You could tell he didn't get it going from the field per se, but he still found ways to impact the game, Legend. Getting fouled, getting to the free throw line. As Martin said, 5 steals, 2 blocks. He is doing what an MVP of the league should be doing right now. Is he now your front runner, seeing Wemby slide a little bit down, a little bit after a couple rough games? SGA is still there. Still got to give him his props. He still had 30 in a loss tonight. Where do you put Luka in that conversation? Because he is providing a little bit more defense than a lot of people would care to admit. But he is doing things that's impacting winning, and that's what, to me, counts the most, Legend.
I feel like right now for the MVP voting, it is definitely between him and Wemby right now to me. I feel like those are two that battle it out. And Wemby done had 2 bad games in a row. So I feel like he kind of slid down a little bit, and Luka done took the top spot right now. So I think Luka is leading the pack at the moment with the 40 points, so many 40-point games, starting off the season, a lot of triple doubles. I think right now this is the Luka's at the number 1 spot right now. And Wemby just slide down to 2. It might slide into 3 just a little bit after what SGA just did tonight too. But so far, I think Luka got it right now. He's number 1.
I would
The
have
only
to.
way the only way you'd say no is because he hasn't played in all the games. He's missed 2 or 3?
Something like that.
Something like that. So Antoine, go ahead, my friend. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, you're fine. That was my bad. Please excuse me. I was just gonna say I agree. Luka's averaging 41.3 points per game, 12 rebounds with 8 assists, shooting an efficient 54% from the field. So he's looking really good. He could easily, like, if he could take, I don't have the free throw stat in front of me, what he's shooting from the free throw percentage, but he could certainly, in my
I
opinion,
think it's in the 70s, to be honest.
because I was
think
gonna say,
75.
okay,
Yeah.
got you. Like, because I
That's
think,
never been a strong suit. Just like LeBron, I bet
of
they
course.
would be so much. This year regular season just under 80. Man, if both
Mhm.
those guys were above 80, man, just think how much more points they would have put on the board.
Of course. And like just being like, it'd be cool to see him be like a 50, 40, 90 candidate, But yeah, I do think that Luka, being 26 years old, he wants that envy. It's gonna happen at one point. It just depends when it does, being in an era with Jokic, with Giannis, with SGA. Jason Tatum and her well, I think Jason's like 1 year older. Of course, he's injured this year though, so obviously Luka would definitely have the advantage this year. But I think his best year to win the MVP it would definitely be like one of probably this year. Like Wembanyama's really young. I do think at a certain point, Victor himself is going to be a multiple time MVP. I don't think that's an exaggeration to say. I think he'll be I'll say it on here on this podcast. I think he will be the face of the NBA. I think he will be that guy. I think it'll go from Michael Jordan to LeBron James to Victor Wembanyama, especially now that he has the core, the team around him, and they're all so young. And the Spurs have more draft picks, on the way, and they have that generational talent who's good on offense and defense, and he just has the making for it. I feel like he'd be my pick to be like that next guy to hold the torch. Some people have Anthony Edwards and Luka and stuff like that, but I do think it will be Victor once he hits a certain age, of course. But I think Luka right now, I think he will be one of the guys to be there for MVP this year. I don't think he slips outside of the top 3 for the candidacy. If I had to say like his competition, because Giannis, they're having a down year in Milwaukee, so Giannis won't be up there like that. Denver is still great. Jokic isn't going anywhere. He just had a great night, literally tonight. So Nikola Jokic. So it's still going to be difficult. SGA, the Thunder, they just lost to Portland, but they're still really good. Like Legend said, SGA has not gone anywhere in the MVP race after doing what he did tonight. He's still averaging like I think 34 a game right now, but Luka has the scoring by a country mile with 40 points. And even though, like Gerald said, he did miss a couple games, every time he's been back, it's been like at like 36, 37 at least. So like tonight it was 35, and that was on an off shooting game, shooting 9 of 27. So if he shoots like 15 of 27, something like that, he could have had crazy numbers again. So yeah, man, I do think that Luka, his best year to win MVP is likely this year. Not saying he can't win it like next year or the year after that. He's obviously going to be up there. I just think the better OKC gets, the better San Antonio gets. Like, it's going to be hard, I think it's going to be super difficult because those dudes have really good cores. Houston, you can't sleep on Houston. They do have Kevin Durant on top of the core they do have now with Amen Thompson and in all parents and Goon. We know Kevin Durant just signed an extension as well, so he's going to be over there for a while too. So Luka has a lot to look forward to. He has a lot of obstacles to fight to get to that MVP, but I do think he can win it. He does have the individual skill set, and if he does win it, he'll have the credit of winning one of the most hardest MVPs literally in NBA history, in my opinion, knowing all the all-time greats he had to beat to win the award during that time.
I'll just say this again, Legend. I know you're about ready to head on out, my friend, but I just wanted to real quickly get it to you with one last comment from you. So great to have you here. Once again, it's Legend from I Got Next Sports Media, Antoine Willis Jr., who writes for Fansided. Wanted to ask you your thoughts real quickly on this, Legend. We talked about all of our experts, and almost all of them had OKC, Houston. Well, not everybody had them near the top, but most had them near the top of the food chain in the Western Conference, and also Denver. They definitely had Denver high up on the list. That's who are breathing down the Lakers' necks right now as they go out on a 5-game road trip. Like you said, you saw this time last year, your Golden State Warriors have this kind of early season success. How do the Lakers parlay their early season success into a successful road trip over the next 5 games?
I would say just got to stay focused and don't get too settled in when you start winning and all that. Just got to keep the same mindset of act like it ain't even happened. Just keep playing ball, keep getting many wins you can get, and the most important part, you got to get healthy. You got to get your team back healthy, get your team squad up, because the biggest thing going to the playoff is chemistry. You got to eventually get LeBron James back and put him in the midst of what you got going on and see how it looks when all of them come together. So you do want to get him healthy and try to keep what you got out there currently healthy as well.
Mhm.
But to stay in focus, stay healthy, that's what you're going to have to do at this point, and then keep the chemistry going the way it is. Because the chemistry looks really good amongst all of them. So I am curious to see how it's going to be when you add LeBron into the mix, seeing how that kind of changed some things. But otherwise, biggest important though, stay healthy. Biggest important part is staying healthy.
I love the fact you guys are already crapping a bit. It's happening since the EuroLeague. You guys have been crapping on Nikola Jokic now for a while.
I was about to say
guys,
that. Yeah.
You guys really know that he just scored 33, 15, and 16. He's averaging a triple. Oh, by the way, triple.
Not a top 5 player currently.
Yeah, it's like some casuals talking out there now.
By Patroon Joyner.
Well, okay, yeah, it's your guys' opinions, and I have to respect their opinions on that, guys. Okay, if that's what they think, then absolutely, you have to respect their opinions right now. But man, wouldn't you love a player that's averaging 22, 13, and 11 right now for your team from the center position? I mean, I know I would. I'll just leave it at that.
Sign him up right now. How much money you want?
Exactly. I mean, if he's on the downside of his career at age 30, my God, what a downside of the career, averaging a triple-double right now. An insane triple-double right now. But again, if he's not in your top 5, well, Antoine, I'll just say this. If he's not in their top 5, I respect their decision in saying so. But when if you say who is better than who, Jokic is not as good as Luka. Okay, again, I don't want to get into that because that's going to be an argument all day long. I'm just going to say both of those guys are playing damn good right now, and I'll leave it at that, Antoine.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree with what you said. Like, if my closing comment, like, yeah, everyone's just gonna have their opinions at the end of the day, and everyone's super passionate about the sport. We're witnessing some of the greatest basketball we've ever seen in the league. Just last season, with Luka and Anthony getting traded for each other, the NBA was established in 1947, and it took till 2025 for two All NBA players to be traded for each other in the middle of the season. So I think right now we're starting to hit another peak in basketball, like similar to the 80s. And then, I didn't witness the 90s, but I heard the 90s were great. Obviously, I do my research. The mid 2000s, we had lockouts and stuff like that, unfortunately. The early 2010s, we had Miami and, Golden State 2015, stuff like that. And now, post-COVID and stuff, I think we're witnessing like we're gonna start to witness like a paradigm shift in the league. We're witnessing cores that are over exceeding in the age that they are. 21-year-old Stephon Castle is playing great, already averaging 20 points, 6 rebounds with 5 assists a game. We have a young Victor Wembanyama, and that's really what I wanted to end on. Really, most of all, I feel like we're not really, like, because people are so critical of him right now. And I think when it comes to the NBA, people have to understand what it means to be 20 years old in the NBA, to be 21, to be 22, to be 23. Like, I don't think people truly can fathom what that means. Like, you look at them and see they're tall and like they're still kids at the end of the day.
They still play video games. They still
seriously.
go. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, when you were 21, when I was 21, how emotionally mature was I at that age? And you're on top of that, they're being paid millions of dollars. There's a lot of expectation each night. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people are watching them around
Every
the world.
night, seriously.
Yeah, so a lot of pressures on these guys. You're right in that sense, and sometimes, well, a lot of times, we take that for granted, especially with these young kids just starting out that are very impressionable, as we see.
And the only reason I mention that is because, so when you do get a player like a Victor Wembanyama, who I mean, like, his first year, 10 years from now, we're going to say he was already living up to the hype just with the numbers that like, his first year, he averaged 21 points and 11 rebounds a game. And it was like almost like 4 blocks a game. And then the next year it was 24 and 11. And now this year it's 27 and 14. Like, we're not talking about how he's 21 years old putting up these numbers. I think people act like as if that's like regular or something. Like, I can only imagine how people felt when I think Shaq, I think he played pretty long in college. So Shaq was a little, like, he was grown when he came in, but the fact that Shaq was still that good, that young, I don't think people understand how hard that is to do. So when you have someone who's as advanced as a Victor Wembanyama, I just don't think it's really hit people like how good he's about to be. And the fact that he has the team that he has already is the part that, and I get it, it's just super early. That's all it is. But they're already, they were 5-0 at the beginning of the season. Like, they've already started to show the direction of where they're going to go. So, and I know this is a Lakers podcast. I mentioned this because, like, it's going to be interesting to see how Luka is going to combat these things. Of course, we have Austin Reaves. He's going to be his co-partner for the future, but this is like the Luka Laker era. So I'm interested to see how he's going to combat, Nikola Jokic, all these dudes. And I think it really starts this year in the playoffs in particular. Every single different playoff series is going to have to slay a different dragon. And, I'm just really interested to see how that looks, whether it's Kevin Durant, whether it's Nikola Jokic, whether it's Victor Wembanyama, whether it's, whoever. So SGA, you never know. So I'm just really excited to witness what this year is going to be for Luka. And I do think he can bring that MVP home. Strictly unbiased, 100% he can bring it home. He's popular and he has the numbers to do so. So absolutely great show today, for sure.
Absolutely. Once again, it is Antoine Willis. Please check out his work, part of the fan-sided experience on not only for the Atlanta Hawks, the Los Angeles Lakers, and many more teams right there for you in the NBA. If there's any way they could go ahead and check out your great work, where is the best place to do so before you say you got to go ahead and head on out?
Of course, absolutely. It's about 2 a.m., 2:13 in Atlanta, Georgia right now. That's where your boy's from.
I know that
Yeah.
and you know, my good friend Legend from I Got Next Sports Media, he had to go because he's also in Georgia on your same time zone as well.
Absolutely, for sure. Shout out to Legend. We dedicated over here to this craft. You have to be. Yeah, I work for fansided.com, where I cover the Atlanta Hawks for Soaring Down South. And I actually cover the Los Angeles Lakers it's for another publication. It's still growing in notoriety. It's called The Lead Sports Media. I work for the Lakers Lead, where I'm a beat writer under the Los Angeles Lakers umbrella. We cover multiple teams from multiple sports, and I'm on the Lakers beat. We have about 100,000 followers on X. If you want to find our account, it's literally Lakers Lead, like lead in a game. Lakers Lead, and that's Soaring Down South, where I work at as well. And yeah, my name, you can see it right there at the bottom of my name. Just it's that with an @ symbol. That's all my social medias at Antoine Willis Jr. on X. Please go give me a follow. Always writing Lakers content. Been doing some feature stories lately, so I'm trying to pump those out. But I am gonna put a Lakers article out soon. Of course, just getting back on the Lakers beat since the season is starting to pick up. And yeah, so just ready to cover the season as always, and catch us back on the Lakers Fast Break podcast, most definitely, where you get some of the best Lakers coverage in the entirety of the NBA.
Well, that's at Lakers Lead on Twitter, X, and then also Antoine Willis Jr. on Twitter and X as well. Antoine, it's been great to have you on. I'm going to stay on for a little bit and talk to these guys out here, but so glad to have you a part of what we're doing here, the post game, and glad to have you back anytime you can, my friend.
Thank you. Of course, anytime. For sure, I love to do it. Tuesday, Monday nights are always my best. So if there's any,
well, I also have NBA observations that I do on other points of the time.
Right.
For members and for regular viewers as well. So
okay, for sure. Yeah. Hey, let's do it. I'd love to. I'm always down to talk about the league in general. It's always fun to talk about different teams I don't get a chance to, like Colin Kneppel on like the Hornets right now. I really like Colin Kneppel. He's a good player to me. I'm really excited for him. Yeah,
I'm really excited for Ryan Kalkbrenner. Does that guy miss? His field goal percentage is 80%.
I think he landed exactly where he needed to. Landing in Utah, like even being in the second round, I thought that was a bit. Charlotte, yeah, he does play for Charlotte. He's sorry.
The starting center for the Charlotte Hornets right now.
He is, right. I'm sorry. I was thinking about I think I've got him confused with Walker Kessler for a second. Because he was on my mind today because he's from Atlanta. And he got a season-ending shoulder surgery.
Yes. No more Laker trades talk for him anymore,
right.
guys. At least
but yeah, you're right, Kalkbrenner. Yeah, I do like how he does pair with LaMelo and Brandon Miller. He was good at Duke. I thought he was great at Duke. I was surprised he fell that far in the draft, but it was a steal. So yeah, most definitely. I will always love to talk about the prospects for sure. Hit me up. And yeah, you have a great day or a great night now, Gerald. It was great talking to you. And feel free to hit me up anytime you want me on this show. I would love to do it.
You got it, my friend. Once again, it is Antoine Willis Jr. Please go ahead and support his work today on Lakers Lead, Fansided, and so much more. It starts with Antoine Willis Jr. on X, a.k.a. Twitter as well. All right, Antoine, great to have you here. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you soon. It is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. The Lakers win 118-116. Wanted to go ahead and wrap up with you guys here. Let's have a little bit of conversation on the way out. But the Lakers tried hard to lose it in those last few seconds, but we did pull off the victory. Again, 7-2, great sign. Jovan Buha, when he says stuff like that, kind of irks me because I know what he said. I listened to his conversations on other shows because he's left The Athletic. He's now doing this like me. He's running his own channel. He's gone all in on the YouTube format, and he's successful, and I'm happy for him. But I did hear a lot of his conversation on other podcasts, leading into the season. I know what he said. And you're right. A lot of us do have to possibly reevaluate where this team is. The season's only 10% done, but still, if they keep at this, a lot of people will have to reevaluate their positions on where the Lakers are at. But they have to keep on doing it because Denver, Houston, they're right there with the Lakers, right there starting off so they don't have any room for error per se, and they have to be a little bit healthier going forward. Austin Reaves with this groin issue cannot be a lingering thing. Luka, I already see a point where they're probably going to sit him down in that back-to-back, like I mentioned, New Orleans, Milwaukee. I said that last year with the guys, and they would always go to the not have the guy. They'd have the guy for the easier one, and then send him out for the harder one. So could be that they might play him in New Orleans and then sit him down in Milwaukee. I don't. Again, the way the Lakers think sometimes, but I'm just going to say this. JJ Redick. I will say this. A lot of credit has to go for him. I know it was mentioned tonight how, I think it was Patron. And by the way, Patron, new viewer, thank you so much. Like and subscribe. Truly appreciate you joining here. He said Deandre Ayton owned him. I don't want to say the bit because they didn't play on the defensive side for the Lakers. It wasn't a lot of Deandre Ayton directly on Victor Webanyama. And part of the reason why was because they saw what Phoenix did. They put a forward on Victor for the majority of the game. Then as soon as he got the ball, tried to double team and trap him to get the ball out of his hands and say, you know what, the other guys can go ahead and win. And in the first half, it was working for Spurs because they were really hot from long distance and Victor wasn't the one shooting them. So give credit to where San Antonio was as far as the first half is concerned, but they kept at it. They kept that game plan. And in the second half, you started to see them wearing down Victor. Obviously, he got into getting into foul trouble was really, bad for their team. And ultimately, I think that you could say that could be the difference was him fouling out, what have you. But I thought that was a good game plan by JJ. So I'm going to give a lot of credit for him for following the blueprint that Phoenix already set into motion the other day, understanding what he needed to do because it was a lot of times it was Rui. Marcus Smart had Jake LaRavia had they put always a forward a lot of times on Victor Wembanyama and then had Ayton or another player come to try and trap him, or if Wembanyama goes up for a shot, another player to help on him like Ayton or whatnot, so Hayes or whatnot. So I want to give a lot of credit to JJ for being able to work that out. Eventually Wembanyama, like I said to Stefan, I believe it was, they're going to work that out. He's going to become a better player, and he's going to understand how to work against those double teams and have it used against the opposing team. But enjoy it while it can. And use it while you can, because that's going to be the blueprint now until he finally understands how to deal with it in a proper fashion. So, yeah, absolutely. Just, again, credit to JJ for doing that. And that's what good coaches do. We didn't see the third quarter, a little bit of a fade by there, but a lot of it was because of the fouling. The fouling took the Lakers out of that third quarter, but I'm so glad that they regrouped in that fourth quarter, came back strong, utilized the fouls for themselves because they ultimately got ahead in the free throw battle 44-40. They were down at one time behind in the free throw battle. So I'm very happy to see the Lakers get those same kind of calls on the other end. I don't like to see that many fouls personally, but if you're going to call all those fouls, you better make it even. And 44-40 is pretty much even as you can get. So I'm glad the Lakers got away with it. They snuck out with a victory. There was a couple mistakes by LaRavia and Smart at the very end, but you know what? Overall, a great team victory on a day where Luka, again, struggling from the field, but he found ways to get this team the victory. Deandre Ayton came up really, really solid today. Again, Rui Hachimura, as we talked about, guys, Rui Hachimura, if you give him more opportunities to make plays and to take shots with his accuracy in the mid-range and from three, it really is a benefit for this team. The more times he gets a touch on the ball, as far as in a shooting position or in a play where it sets him up as an offensive player. 15 points today. That's what you're getting from Rui. 15 to 17. Hey, we'll take it, even in the 20s. Today, Deandre Ayton, 22 and 10. Marcus Smart. What can we say about Marcus Smart? 3 of 10 from shooting, but he got to the line. 10 of 10 for the free throw line. A smart, pardon the pun, and savvy player throughout the game, outside of that one part where he actually accidentally put his foot over the line on that inbounds pass when he was trying to get to Rui. But again, overall, just an outstanding game. Very, he took charges in the game. Jake LaRavia, those guys are doing what it takes to win. Jake LaRavia, 8 and 6. It doesn't stand out on the scoreboard, but you know what? A really solid effort from him with 38 minutes tonight. The guys really, really played hard. Am I happy with Luka Doncic playing 42 minutes? Not thrilled by it, because I don't know how long you can sustain that, even in this kind of shape that Luka's in. Would love to see something done, maybe a little bit better. But when LeBron comes back, maybe those minutes go down and the Lakers are still that effective. That's my hope, guys, is that Luka with Austin and with LeBron, he doesn't have to play the 42 minutes a game like he's been doing, even when Austin's been in there. So I'm hoping that will change indeed. But Vanderbilt tonight, 5 points for him coming off the bench. Jackson Hayes, another solid effort, 9 points, 4 rebounds. Dalton Connect still struggling from the field, 3 points for him tonight. And Nick Smith Jr., I don't know about, I know he made a couple turnovers in back-to-back succession in the first half, and that kind of put him in the doghouse. 2 points only for him tonight, but I really was hoping to keep him going with some momentum after his terrific game in Portland. And then Bronny James, -1. Again, he's not hurting the Lakers too much. Only a -1 on the plus minus. Again, if you take things in for granted as far as the plus minus, 2 points for him. Give him, he had a rebound as well. He didn't look, that bad out there. So again, just something where, although he tried to get in the way of Victor Webanyama, you can't. Once Victor Wembanyama's going downhill, that's all she wrote. But Intel Wild, great to have you here. All the people that drop super chats, I am so grateful for you for doing so. Wanted to give a big shout out to each and every one of you who did. Stefan says the only argument for LeBron I've heard, does that make sense, is that when LeBron comes, we have more depth to handle these nagging. The nagging injuries. You're right. Again, if LeBron comes back, which he will, most likely after the road trip, probably in that first week after, maybe one of the Utah games, because they play Utah back to back. That's maybe what they're targeting. That would be great. That helps. That's another guy who comes back in, who is skilled, who is talented, even at 41 years of age, coming up on someone who could get you 20 to 25 points a game. And I don't, I know that, Jeremy and some others were trying to talk about, well, he's still sulking, he's still pouting. Is he really injured? We'll see. We'll see what kind of LeBron comes back, where the Lakers are at. If the Lakers are still in the top 3 in the Western Conference when he comes back, what kind of role will he play? Will he want to dominate the ball, or will he want to be a part of what the Lakers are doing? It'll be very interesting to see. But you're right. It is a 6'9", very talented player still coming back. And that always should be a helpful for any team out there that would, that gets them, in this case, the Lakers. So I'm looking forward to seeing LeBron come back. And then, of course, Austin come back for the road trip. He is expected back for Saturday's game. We'll see how that works out with his groin. He was actually working out earlier today, so he's pretty close to coming back, guys. So I'm really thankful for that. The Lakers get an extra day off as they go into Atlanta on the start of a 5-game road trip. But we'll be covering for you. We'll have it for you on the Lakers channel, the Lakers Fast Break channel, on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. So come and join us there. Be part of the conversation. Maybe I'll even have a VIP for you guys. So definitely looking forward to seeing if you guys will be there. But looking forward to it. It's 5 p.m. On Saturday. So definitely looking forward to seeing you guys there. On also as well, YouTube will have the simulcast, and then of course our awesome post game as well. Looking forward to it. But yeah, great. Any last comments for you guys before I head out? Just wanted to thank you so much for joining us. But you guys have been great. Great conversation. Got a little bit testy between you guys talking about LeBron, where he stands, who's greater than who's better than who. But I respect your guys' opinion. All of you guys' opinion. Just try to be respectful of each other. So thank you, Stefan Piscano. Truly appreciate it. As always, make sure you go ahead and check out the Stefan Piscano podcast. Got to give you a cheap plug out there, right there for you. Sports Baby says G tomorrow. There you go. Sports Baby says on the Lakers fast break playback, guys. If you're interested, he'll have on the Clippers and Suns. Var, you're just too much, my friend. Really appreciate it, and really thank you for hosting the playback on the Lakers fast break playback channel. Along again with shout out to No Joker, shout out to Tough, shout out to Magic Man, shout out to Henry, shout out to everybody that was in the chat. Even though JSJ was saying we were going to lose the whole time. Sorry, JSJ, I had to say. Okay, you said it from the second half on. You said you were going to lose, but we did lose. The negative feng shui worked. So that's your plan, and you're sticking to it. Is that you would think negatively until the Lakers would ultimately end out with a positive victory. So there you go. Beth says, I don't care. Giannis is the best two-way player. Maybe he is. He's playing sensational, Best. He is playing sensational. I'm not going to disparage him at any point. He's playing, even at his age, he's playing now above 30. He's playing at a great level, still at an elite level as one of the top 5 players as well. Div was there as well. Again, shout out to Div X-Ray as well. Again, you guys have been great. As long as we keep this great community and try and build from it and build onto it, you make it worth being on playback and then also coming right at you here at the Lakers Fast Break. Again, great show. Thank you so much again to Antoine Willis Jr., of course, legend from I Got Next Sports Media, and of course my good friend John Costa. I'm gonna let John Costa spend some time with the family, get some rest. So he's let him go ahead and get a good night's sleep with the family and start on that right now. So don't be so harsh right now, but I don't think so. I think he's on the East Coast, just like Legend. It's 2:30 in the morning. These guys got to get some rest, especially got to work in the morning. That's tough. So, but thank you, Intel. Truly appreciate all the support you give us. Truly appreciate everyone out there. No Joker, RD23. Intel Wild with the super chats. Truly cannot thank you guys enough, but I think it's going to call it a night. Really good way to end the evening with the Lakers eking out a victory, 118 to 116. If you're listening to us on the road, thank you so much for listening to us. If you're listening to us at work, appreciate it. I hope you have a great day at work. Hope you goes by fast for you and you can enjoy the rest of your week. As far as any other shows, I know that the Lakerholics are planning a Saturday show, and then, of course, Saturday night we'll have the game, and also, of course, we'll have also the post game as well. I don't know if I'll be able to drop a show Thursday or Friday. If I do, I will go ahead and pop one in there for you. But look forward to go ahead and see you guys, though, on Saturday. So, again, for Antoine Willis, Legend, and John Costa, truly want to thank you so much. It's Gerald Glasser. Thank you again for listening. Again, it's around the holiday time. One last cheap plug. You guys love him out there. He's always in our chat. It is Drip Show. Look at this, man. He made me this, and this was absolutely just top quality. So beautiful. Shout out to, of course, Drip Show for doing this for the legendary Kobe and Gigi right here. And then, of course, behind me, the canvas art that you see right above me with Luka and also as well Kobe right there. If you want that kind of quality work for something you have in mind, could be Lakers related, Dodgers related, could be pop culture related, could be another team, NFL related, follow him at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Let him know what you're thinking. He'll respond to you and let you know if he can do it. And if he can do it, he'll make your holiday a lot better as well. Yes, RD23, sleep well as well, my friend. Joe, I think probably is getting some rest as well. Hopefully I'll get him back on for the Saturday show. Maybe we'll come on with Thursday or Friday if I have time, or if he has some time, maybe on his Joe Sorrell Experiment channel. So we'll see what happens. But we'll try to get something for you guys. At least by the Atlanta game, we'll have at least one show in there for you. Maybe it's from the Lakerholics, maybe it's from me, but we'll get something there for you. But I want to thank you so much for listening. Truly appreciate it. And we'll be back, like I said, hopefully very soon, at least by the Atlanta game. Coming right back at you as the Lakers win. They're now 7-2, second place in the Western Conference. How will it look as they start out on the road trip? We'll let you know how it goes, always, right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. In honor of Joe, ooh, ow. Lakers win